All right, so built 10 of these, I call them blacket benches. I made a little video, a little comeback video, a little, let's do something. Let's create some sawdust and some mistakes, mysteries, mistakes, and more. I think I called it in the Build-A-Bench workshop. That video was entirely too long. I'm told that I talk too much, and I do. There was actually an enormous amount of footage that I left out of there.
To make the video better.
Which I think is good. There were some things that I should have put in there and a ton of stuff I should have left out, I guess. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a furniture maker, but I am trying to become better at that. One of the things that I've noticed a serious trend as time goes on is the CNC, the AI, the internet. I think, you know, there was a big explosion with the internet that came up and it changed all of our lives. Then of course, somewhere in there, the cell phone, put them both together and look at what we've got. The same thing's gonna happen with AI. The CNC thing, that's been around for a long time, put all of that together, and I tell you what, wow. But there's something with the addition to all of that, now we're missing something. We've gone beyond. And I find with digital photography, we kind of want to go back to film. Regular art that you can just digitally design, kind of want that oil painting or those watercolors, the original stuff. Kind of want the vinyl record instead of streaming. There's something to that imperfection that, you know, it was fine. And we kind of like that. We kind of like that patina. I have a deep appreciation for that whole sentiment. And I'm coming to you through my digital camera, through the internet. I couldn't have done any of this without a computer and my cell phone and my business electricity, the modern technology. I don't even know what that world really looks like without that stuff. I think all of it is too much, and I think there's a tasteful line there. And I think we've gone way beyond it, and I think there's a thirst to get back to that fine line of just raw creativity, a little bit of elbow grease. I think it's good for us. And I don't think I'm alone in that sentiment. That said, I got a little branding iron and modern technology. I can see how hot I'm getting that with a little butane torch. And right about now, right just short of 300 degrees is where the sweet spot is. I know that there's a lot more to know about using this. One thing that I wanted to explore is, does this work on leather? Look at that. The blacket bench. That's a little too burnt, so I let it cool down a little bit. But I'll tell you what, how does that work in wood? Let's do a little close-up, should we? Oh, not so hot. Can you try it again for a dual exposure? Yeah, not so hot. That's why I like to do it in leather. I like to do a lot of stuff in leather. It turns out a little cleaner. And you know what I've done? Gotta be careful where you lay that down because you'll catch your place on fire. I was thinking about with these the little Build-A-Bench workshop, I'm thinking on the bottom of each one, put that little stamp. I did one. I didn't like it because you saw what it did to the wood. It was like, oh, what's going on here? Maybe a different brand, maybe a different whatever. So I just took, follow me over here. You guys know that I've been dabbling around a little bit in content creation, furniture making, blacksmithing, and leather work, and branding. So what are we doing? Put it all together, right? Because I think somebody that's really good with leather, I tell you what, man, if you've seen some videos out there and you're anything like me, you love what they can create. I mean, there are some fantastic works of art. These guys with leather are just amazing. We've all watched, Forged in Fire. And oh my gosh, the stuff that they make, you know, using just heat and metal and craftsmanship and brains and brawn, right? I want to bring all of that together And it has almost nothing to do with CNC, has almost nothing to do with the internet, has nothing to do with AI. But to share all of that, we lean on all of it. A CNC machine, I designed this on the computer. Look at that. On a piece of leather. It took a little bit of brains, took a little know-how, it was on my radar because I've been playing around with leather. I've been trying to teach myself about leather work, really, because I think it's just really good art form. And so next thing you know, I tried to brand this onto wood. I didn't like it. Tried to brand it on the leather, and with the right temperature and exposure, put all of that together, and I came up with this. It's not perfect. In fact, this one's a little too exposed. You should be able to see the stars. That's why this one did not make it onto the bottom of one of my benches. All of my benches, if you can see the stars and everything is legible, then we got a good brand. This is what it looks like in wood. Now, see where you can see the stars there? It's pretty good. This is just pine wood and just a, practice piece. I love it. All right, where are we going with all this? Besides talking too much. At some point, I'd like to get into a little bit of mass production. We all have slow times, especially us small guys in a small shop. I don't take on just any project. Somebody calls me up, hey, Scott, you want to build me a deck? Do I know how? Sure. Do I want to drag my tools through the mud and then the next week work on white carpeting? That's a bad idea. And do I want to run the risk of having all of a sudden 4 rain days in a row? Oh my gosh. All right, I've been saying lately that you should stay in your lane. But at the same time, you should know a little bit about everything that you stumble across. Where am I going with all this? For the most part, there are times when I have some slow times. I'm too much of a busybody. I like to work, I like to stay busy, I like to stay active. I don't like the version of me that's sitting on the couch watching TV, eating bonbons. Like a shark, I keep swimming. But if you have nothing going on, maybe you're like, I don't know how long this slow stretch is gonna happen. The economy's a little rocked right now, so a lot of us are experiencing that. If your shop is like mine and you're like me, then you're very familiar with that, little scenario. In my downtimes, I don't just sit still, I keep moving. You guys remember, I think my very first video, I thought, I like building these boxes out of pallets. So I had at one time, this is where I started building stuff and just making boxes out of free material, which is pallet material. I know we all hate the subject, but honestly, 25, almost 30 years ago, I wanted to create stuff on my own. So the very first thing I did is I collected some pallets and I started making boxes, and I made the first box. The second box, I raised the difficulty level. The third box, I started putting a little radius top with hinges on it. And then, I had a carving on it, and then I had handles, and then I put finish to it, and they just kept getting more and more involved. If I can, one of the last boxes that I made, I ended up raffling off. It's not the best box. I'm not a box maker. I'm not a furniture maker, but feast your eyes on that baby. The sides were miter folded into the radius top, which is pretty cool. And there's some walnut, if you can see through the sawdust, some walnut carvings in the corners. It turned out pretty cool. And when you open it up, it was all aromatic cedar. It was a pretty cool piece. So that's my box making career in the Build a Box workshop here. I know it's a little different content, but when you go back to the beginning of my career, my journey in making boxes was made out of pallet wood. Just grabbing some pallets, I realized that there's a sweet spot, and it's 17 1/4. So I made a picture frame, times that by 2, and put the other one on the other side. Then I just start at one end and just wrap it with 17 1/4 inch long boards. That's what a pallet will typically yield between the stringers. They're really tough to get those spiral nails out because all that wood is shrunk, or and maybe it's a spiral themselves, and it's just they're hard to pull the nails out. And then I put a little lid on there, just pretty easy. You can put leather straps and hobnails on there. It's not the best hinge system, but for your first box, is like, hey, I made something cool, and you can use it for nightstands. You can use it as a coffee table. You can sit down on it. You can grab your belongings and put them on the side and you can make an entertainment center out of them. That's everything I was doing. But I was practicing. I was learning about tools, and I had what, like an air compressor, a nailer. I borrowed an old belt-driven table saw from my old man. I had a jigsaw. That's where I started. And now look at me. Back to the beginning. Why don't I use this as a shipping crate for the bench? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? It's just dumb luck that this bench fits inside the crate. I was thinking the dimensions, so I'm like, wait a minute. And you know what? Every time I ship out one of these benches, if somebody just had to have a bunch of them, maybe I'd put them in these crates. I'm not sure about that idea. I don't even know if I'd have anyone that wants one of these benches. I like the idea of getting back to basics. At least, let's not forget them. I don't even know if this thing will ship down the road and not fall apart. And I don't know if I want to put a bunch of screws and glue and whatever into this. But I do like the idea of getting back to some basics. A little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of brains and brawn, learning along the way, not forgetting where you came from. On the bottom of each one of my little benches, I put a wee little leather. You know how I fasten that on there? Little hobnails, but not the perfect kind. The kind that look like a blacksmith made them. They're all different. They're all different sizes. And that's a little bit of solid lumber instead of MDF or particle board. No dowels, no wood glue. Shipped in an old type of shipping container that, by the way, you could use. It's like a little bit of synergy. I like this idea. By the way, I have 10 of them scattered throughout my house. I call these my prototypes. On each one, I have a couple of areas that have room for improvement. The next 10 that I build won't have these mistakes in there because I have a watchful eye, and they're going to be good, and they're going to be faster, and they're going to be higher quality. Little mistakes I want to share with you, little pitfalls, little successes, just sharing with you how my mind works. Based on all of that, stay safe, stay busy, and stay tuned for what it is we do next.